Hey guys, so we're going to continue coding our player so we can finish it up. So we're going to go ahead and click on the yellow events tab. I'm going to use when I receive game start. Instead of control, I'm going to add a forever. And then inside of that forever, I'm going to add an if then. The diamond, I'm going to go ahead and go into operators and use the equal sign. The empty bubble, I'm going to add the running bubble. And the 50, I'm changing to a 1. I'm going to go into looks, and I'm going to add a next costume, since this is going to be for our animation. And on control, I'm going to add a wait 0.01 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my block, and I'm going to create a block. We're going to go ahead and call this flip. And we're going to click on OK. We should get this define flip to pop up. I'm going to go ahead and move it down, and now we're going to tell it exactly what we want it to do. So inside of the Blue Motions tab, we're going to use set rotation style to all around. Instead of control, we're going to add a repeat, and we're changing the 10 to a 9. Inside the Blue Motions tab, we're going to add a turning right 40 degrees. And then we're going to go ahead and add a set rotation style from left to right. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go inside the yellow events tab, and we're going to add a when I receive walk. I'm going to add a forever, and then an if then. Inside of the diamond shape, I'm going to go into operators, and I'm going to use an equal sign. On the empty bubble, we're going to go ahead and use velocity, and the 50 we're going to change to 15. So what we're going to add in here, we actually need to create still, so we're going to go ahead and just do that really quickly. So inside of the my block, we're going to make a block and call this slow flip. Same thing, we're going to define it, but it's basically the same thing as a regular flip, just a little bit slower. So I'm just going to duplicate what I have in here and move it to the other side. And then what I'm going to go ahead and change is the repeat is going to be 24, and the turn is going to be 15. So now inside of here, I'm going to add a slow flip. And then we can move on with the code. So inside the yellow events tab, we're going to use when I receive game start. I'm going to go into the variables tab. Instead of control, and I'm going to add a wait 1.7 seconds. And then inside of the my block, I'm going to add the flip. The last code that we're going to do, we're going to go into the yellow events tab. We're going to add a when I receive, change this to walk. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is, in control, I'm going to add a forever, and then an if. Inside of the diamond shape, we're going to go ahead into operators and use the less than. The bubble, we're going to go inside the Blue Motions tab and add the Y position bubble. And the 50, we're going to change to negative 175. Inside of the if then, we're going to go into looks and add a hide. Inside the Blue Motions tab, we're going to add a go to X 0, Y0. We're going to then go inside the yellow events tab and add a broadcast. We're going to click on the broadcast, and we're going to go ahead and click on play or lose. And then the last thing we're going to do is inside the variables tab, we're going to set our gravity back to 0. And with that, we're all done with our week 3 core. We're going to go ahead and then move on to our deep dive. A couple of things that you guys can start noticing is some of our stuff aren't lining up exactly the way that we want it, but that's all going to be fixed once we just reposition and replace everything where it should go.